Hey, Brian Godfrey here. I want to tell you a little bit about how I got into the insurance field and how I got to key retirement. Years ago, followed a friend of mine into pharmacy school. Had no idea what I wanted to be, and so he convinced me to go to pharmacy school. He said, "Look, you can make a bunch of money," and I thought, okay, that's one half of what I wanted to do. I also wanted to help people. Figured that was a good field to do both, and so off I went. So I did that for 5 years and really wasn't a good fit for me. Nights, weekends, holidays, I was thinking, okay, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? And so the answer quickly became no, and I decided, okay, let me put my resume out and see what else is out there. And so I got calls from many places, a bunch of insurance companies, and I thought, geez, I don't want to be this pushy sales guy and take advantage of people, all these things that I thought it was. But I went and talked to some people, and they said, look, if you follow the systems, if you work hard, then you can absolutely make all the money you want and help people. So I thought, okay, so I gave it a shot. And this was back in '04. I had no clue how to do insurance. All I knew was how to follow systems. And so I did okay. I learned how to get appointments, and I spent about 8 years at what they call a captive agency. Which meant that you only offer the products that company has to offer themselves. And so it went okay. I kind of worked my way up from an agent to field trainer, and then they asked me to open up this office that they had a lease on, and a couple other groups of people couldn't get it open. So crazy guy that I am, I thought, okay, well, let me give it a shot. So I moved. I got an apartment closer to that office, and opened up what they call a scratch office. There was no agents. And so with the help of the home office down the road, I was able to get a couple agents, and training was like this. Okay, yep, do that. Okay, yep, doing a good job. And I sat between them, taught them both how to do the business. And so we grew. Well, let me back up a step. So that office grew pretty well. And then back at the end of '09, I was kind of thinking, okay, what's next? And so there was a guy down in Maryland, wasn't doing so hot. He was getting ready to retire. And so he kind of just, wasn't as fired up as when he first started. So my wife and I always wanted to live on the water. And we thought, hey, this is a great opportunity to move down to Maryland and kind of take over a branch office. So Lynn kind of helped me recruit some agents, and I had a couple people I was working with, and between us we were able to go from 4 agents to about 40, and we had 2 locations. And over the years, what we realized though is that our agents were getting beat to competitors, right? So independent agents or brokers, they could offer 150, 160 different carriers, and we only had one Medicare supplement, right? So if ours became more expensive, it was pretty hard to compete when, by law, people could get the exact same product at a third of the cost down the road with a competitor. These were also strong, stable national companies, and so I started thinking to myself, geez, this isn't doing the right thing for the client, really, because it felt like you had to sort of convince them that, hey, look, this is why ours is the best, instead of saying, oh, okay, look, here's the best out there, and why I'm recommending this one, right? So that kind of bugged me. And then I was thinking, I'm an employee here, which sounds great because, when you have that W-2, you feel, geez, I'm secure. And, I'm in control. I get that paycheck every couple weeks, and not gonna lie, that's a good feeling until you realize, right, that what happens if the company changes their mind or restructures or decides that they don't need people like me to do what I'm doing. Now I'm not in control, and that false sense of security that I had from having a salary, right, or a regular paycheck, you're really not so secure because you're not in control. I mean, that's the company's in control. So started thinking to myself, what's next? How could I go from here and stay, to the next level, stay in the business, but see what was next. So anyway, I decided it'd be better to be independent, meaning that I wasn't an employee. I had the control of my schedule and time and so on. And I did like the idea of partnering with people, because you always get there faster when you have partners, and you can go further, right? You have leverage and so forth. I like to bounce ideas around with people, because sometimes you're alone, you get inside your own head, you're thinking, geez, is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? Should I do this or that? It's just great to have a team. So anyway, I made a couple pit stops, worked with a couple, different guys and people that I thought would be a decent fit, until it turned out their walk didn't match their talk. And so I just couldn't find a culture that shared my core values. And so ultimately I decided, hey, it's better to be alone and do it all than to compromise my integrity. So I was alone for a few years now, right? Since 19, 18, something like that. And the positives are, hey, I can write business with just about every carrier out there, all the big names. And so doing right by the client is a no-brainer, right? So I'm always going to make sure they have the best thing. And hey, I didn't have a sales manager pressuring me to sell. I worked for a place a few years back, and the guy was so concerned with what I was doing, and it was smothering. And so I didn't have to deal with that. Hey, I didn't have a commute, right? I can control my time, work when I want to, work when I need to. I'm kind of an early riser, so up by 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm ready to take a break or nap by 12, right? So, but on the flip side, I do have to make every decision myself. Wonder, am I doing the right thing? Got to pay for everything, right? You think, geez, being independent, I'm in control, I'm the boss, I'll do it all. Yeah, and you'll pay for it all too. So if you want a software to track your clients, you got to pay for that, $75 a month. If you want people to talk to, well, you need prospecting, you need leads, you need marketing, right? So who's going to do your Facebook and posts and videos like this, and YouTube and so on? You can see I'm at home here in my living room. I'm not in the studio. It's just me, right? So all these things, wearing all these hats, really adds up fast, and the cost adds up fast. And you want to do a good job for your clients and take care of them, but while you're doing that, how are you making Facebook posts? And I mean, you get the picture. It's just a lot, right? So, but I was happy to stay there because I wasn't going to compromise, right? And just find a less than stellar organization to be a part of. So here it was. So anyway, I did want the leverage. I missed that. I missed having the people to culture to be a part of, and I just thought, man, if I could only find somebody that was going to lead me, or that I could follow and so on. And anyway, so not too long ago, I came across American Senior Benefits, and more specifically, Key Retirement Solutions, right? So American Senior Benefits is a national company, but each office is independently owned, so you can have your own branding and so on. And I was actually on an interview with Matt, our agency manager, and I was really impressed with the leverage. I mean, and I talked to each team member, and everybody on the team just seemed to really enjoy being there. And I thought, okay, this is it. So I'm still independent, right? I can write all the same carriers, but now I've got a marketing person who handles social media and email signatures and flyers and posts, and if I make a video like this, she'll make it look great. There's a operations, Brad, operations guy, Allie, the marketing person, Sam with the products. Everybody kind of has their role, and the leverage is just unbelievable. I'm not paying for my CRM. I'm not paying for leads. We have telemarketers that do surveys and put data-rich leads into the system. It's just I would have been a fool to just stay where I was by myself because I just couldn't get there as quickly. So, and the whole, if you look at our parent company, Integrity, right? I don't know if you're a football fan, but Steve Young of the 49ers, old quarterback there, he's the chairman of the board. Well, they own, Integrity Marketing Group owns ASB among many other companies. And, I've seen companies and people talk about integrity and live in a certain way, and talking about is one thing, but once you see how they live, and this company's living out those values, it's just, I couldn't be happier. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. And, hey, if you're interested in learning more, give me a holler.